we could ever be here today. So this should be a motivation for our participants as well for tonight, today's webinar. So in order to, before sharing my screen, sorry, I will quickly like to know much about my audience. I want to know the program you intend to apply for in Germany. Is it master's or PhD? So within the next 30 seconds, I don't know, I will appreciate if you can just type either MSc or PhD. Okay, MSc, okay, PhD, okay, MSc, PhD, okay. All right. Thank you. I think since I could understand my audience now, I will know how to merge the two together. That is combining both MSc and the PhD all together. So at this point, I will have to share my screen. And please, can you see my screen over there?
Yes, yes.
No, not yet. I'm not seeing anything.
All right. Okay. Since one person has responded
No,
to have
your
seen
your
it.
screen is okay. Your screen is okay.
Yes, we can
All
all
right.
see
All
it.
right. All right, thank you. Studying in Germany, Ultimate Guide. So organizer, we have the Ashivas Scholarship Forum that is being headed by Bola Odunaro. And myself, I'm being Emmanuel Adekayero. So this is the overview for the presentation today. So there's going to be why studying in Germany, step-by-step application process, fully funded scholarships, available scholarships, and the contacting professors. So how to study in Germany? The first question you should ask now is why Germany? One of the greatest advantages that Germany has over other institutions is a tuition-free and low-cost education. So all public universities in Germany, whether it is available in the city, in the villages, in the town, anywhere, they are tuition-free institution. And being in Germany, you have the opportunity to learn foreign language. I think this part has always been a barrier because I observe that a lot of persons doesn't want to learn any other language out of their mother tongue or the language of instruction that they are acquainted with. But if you study in Germany, this will award you an opportunity to learn foreign languages, specifically German. And if you should learn German language, in fact, it's going to be of great advantage. In fact, you have opportunity to also live in countries like Switzerland, Austria, Belgium, and many more. So, and another reason why you have to study in Germany is that Germany is a the Germany schools, the Germany organizes a globally recognizes a degree. So it's a globally recognized degrees, both from masters for first degree, second degree, higher degrees. They are always available in Germany, and we also have a strong research opportunities in Germany. You know, one of the advantage, another advantage rather, that Germany has over on that countries is that Germans are the ones that develop their technology. So they are the ones that developed their country. So studying in Germany, we award you a strong research opportunities. And another reason you have to study in Germany is that there will be work opportunities both during and after study. In fact, currently in Germany, after your study, you can still stay in Germany for a period of 18 months. That's 1.5 years. So it is believed that within this period of time, German government believe that you should have gained unemployment. So I believe that if you really know how to play your game and you are expert in your field of study, it's not possible for you not to get a reasonable job for 18 months. So in Germany, you can have opportunity. You can work while studying, and at the same time, after your study, you can still work. and you'll be given period of 18 months before uh, there can be further residential concern. So, and what are the basic requirements? The first is you must have graduated from a recognized secondary school or bachelor's degree. That you've done. I mean, you must have had your either WAEC, your NECO. Majorly, those are the two certificates they still recognize with, and your bachelor's degree as well. So your first degree, and for the sake of the PhD students or aspirants who are here, so you must also have your master's degree, and usually the minimum qualification you must graduate for either from your first degree or second degree. You are expected to have graduated with at least two. So, and another requirement is language proficiency. One of the challenges with people studying in Germany is that people really find it difficult to learn foreign language. I understand how tedious that can be. Imagine someone who has grown old, maybe 30, 35, or thereabout, learning a new language. So it's not really easy anyway, but it is a requirement in Germany for you to be efficient and to at least, let me say, to be able to eat very well from the fruits of the land. So you need to understand the German language. And specifically, German language is on a scale of, we have from A1 to C2. So as a student or an aspirant, you're expected to get acquainted with the A1. You can get that using Duolingo. You can as well follow some influencers on the YouTube, at least, who will introduce you to the basics of German language, which is the A1. From there, you can graduate to your A2. From there, B1 and B2. But before you finish your study, you are expected to have at least obtained German language up to B2 grade, because that will earn you a suitable job. Then you must have a valid passport. It's very, very important. In fact, I think sometimes ago I remember I was in a group. Someone was awarded a scholarship. The funniest thing is the person has never applied for an international passport as at when the scholarship was granted. So it's so funny. So for you to maybe you are as an aspirant, you must have, if not your, if you have not gotten your passport ready, at least it must be under processing by now. And for your passport to be valid for German visa application, at least it must be at least 6 months. You must still have at least 6 months grace before expiration. So because while you apply at the embassy, that may take like 3 months before they process your documents and the likes. And when you get to Germany, you have to renew that. So that's why minimum of a 6 month expiration date ahead is required. And at the same time, in your passport, you must also have at least 2 pages that has not been really stamped. So that's very, very important. And we have financial proof. So, which is also another requirement. So, this financial proof, there are two major ways of proving your financial capability. We have the block account, and we have the scholarship. Although the scholarship part, I'm going to speak about that later. So, for the block account, that's a block account is specifically for those who will be going on a self sponsorship, and for master's degree, at least both masters and PhD, you are expected to save a minimum of I think about 12,000 euro, because the stipend is your monthly cost estimate or living expenses is estimated on the average to be around 950 euro. So if you multiply that by a year, it should give us around 11,000 or almost 12,000 euro. So you must have a proof of fund that oh, you are capable of funding yourself at least for minimum of a year. So that's very, very important. For the sake of those who will be awarded a scholarship. Those ones you can easily get a sponsorship letter from your scholarship body. Now, the step-by-step application process. The step one, you have to choose course and the university. This is very, very important. A good number of us, I was also once a victim sometimes ago, when I was so desperate, like I would just have to japa and the likes. So I thought that, oh, any university is okay, any course of study is okay. But no, it doesn't work that way. You have to choose your course. Like, this is the course I want to study. And one thing about Germany is that if you study, for instance, education, as a course in Nigeria, you cannot transit or you just change to maybe you want to study a course in chemistry or you are now studying a course in engineering. No, they really want to see alignment within your either first degree, second degree, and the current program you want to study. So you have to say choose your course and university. So to get that, you can search more on the official website of a DAD, that's a database. Then you must also check, which is very, very important, admission requirement. I think a good number of us, permit me by using Nigerians as an example, we believe everything works. So, yes, we work and pray. Yes, some of us, we are fond of praying, praying, praying. But you have to do at least some preliminary check. Access yourself. At least you are expected to have qualified on a scale of at least 75 to 80%. That's even if not 100%, because Germany is also very, very competitive. So you are expected to check the admission requirements on the university portal, and at the same time, you should check the language requirement. There are some programs in Germany that will be taught in English language alone, while some will be basically on German. So you have to understand the language requirement. And we also have some programs from universities that offer dual programs, that is both German and English language. But those are the two languages that are required or that are recognized, let me put it that way, in Germany. So if you obtain your degree or your credentials or your studies in any other language, that means language, you have to translate your language, the language of your instruction or language of study, you translate it back to either German or English language. Then you must also check the deadlines. It's very, very important. So don't just while you're applying, it is very important. In fact, it's advisable that you have like a check, like a file check, where you check, oh, I'm applying to so school. You write the starting, the program commencement date, I mean the application, the end date. So when you understand some of these things, they will assist in choosing your choice of course and the university. And step two, you have to check the eligibility. Is a certificate recognized? Now, if you want to know whether your certificate is recognized in Germany, there's a website that's Anabin, Anabin. So for those of us that might be interested in checking that further, you can easily check whether your certificate and your degree is either H plus or H plus plus or H minus. It depends. So if your certificate is not recognized, that means you may have to engage an agency. So there's a letter, they call it, I think, compendium or something. I can't really recollect the exact name at the moment. So you also check, do you need the student college, which is also a requirement? Then you also check program restrictions. So program restriction is very, very important also, because you should know that, because there are some programs, emphatically it will be stated that, oh, these are expected, these are not required. What a particular program, for instance, a program in chemistry will require, might not be required by a program in engineering. So it is better you check your eligibility. Then another thing, that's the step three, is you prepare documents, which is very, very important. So what are the documents you have to prepare? You prepare your academic transcript, your certificate, which must be translated. That's for those who obtained their degree in other languages other than German and the English language.
Okay, I don't know. I think there's a I think there should be yeah, I think there should be an issue with network. I think there should be an issue with network. Okay. So when it comes back, he's going to resume from there. So let's just give him some time. So based on what he has said so far, we can see clearly that there's a much difference between the application process of different region, let me say different country, right? Because especially if you're going to a country that they are they don't speak like their mode of their primary or official language is not English, right? You may need to like learn, you may need to like learn, their English for them to even give you like, apply for admission. I know for a country like that. Yeah, I know that even in Italy, they have some schools like that. Why some schools in Germany, you have to like learn their language. Why some they everything is in English. So you need to like understand all those kind of stuff because the reason why we are doing this just you want you to know different requirements for different country from different regions. So when you want to apply, then you need to ask yourself, based on what I have, everything I had now, okay, what is the best region, I can go to. Do you guys understand? So, hey, Henry, you cannot hear me. Can you guys hear me? That's my mic.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
we
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
so
can
that's
hear
just it. So yeah,
you.
so that's just it. Yeah, so that's why I always tell people US is different. US, Canada, US, Canada. Let me put it this way. I think they have exactly the same mode of application, right? Why once you are going outside, you are going to country that their official language is not English, then you need to like they have different, method. I can tell you about Okong. So I think for Okong, if you really need Okong scholarship, which one of the best scholarship you can get to study for your program. Um, One of the things that's very requirement is just that you need to look for an advisor. Advisor must say, yes, I want to supervise you before, they will recommend it for the admission committee and everything. They will even recommend you may not get the admission at the end of the day, but they will still recommend and everything. And one of the toughest things about that is just that, especially if you're in Nigeria, you have to wake up 3 a.m. to have meeting with them. Yeah, in the middle of the night. I tried that because our own 3 a.m. is like a 10 a.m. in Hong Kong. And 10 or 9 a.m. I can't really remember. And that's when they want to have meeting with you early in the morning when they get to the office. So I know that and I have to wake up couple of time, by 3 a.m. to add meeting with that person. Yeah. I think the person picked me, but it was asking for my transcript, but it was a COVID-19 time, so I was not able to like get my transcript from UI because everything was down. They closed everything down. So that's why, and why in the US you can apply to a lot of school without even securing an advisor. Yes. So it always depends on your program and everything. Why some what yeah. So those are the different things you need to know about different application. I don't know. Let me confirm the speaker is back or not. Yeah. So just give me a minute, please. Let me try to. You guys can ask questions. You guys can read yourself and ask question. Let's just keep the Zoom stuff.
Mr. Bola,
Yeah.
well, sir, is
Okay.
it okay if I say a couple of things while we're waiting for
Sure,
him?
sure,
Since
sure.
I'm already in Germany as well, I
Yeah.
could share a little bit of information. Okay.
Sure.
So he talked a couple of things that I kind of like noted down. So he talked about block account. So currently now the block account that one need without a scholarship to be in Germany is about 14,000 euros
Yeah, he said
because
between 14,000 to
I had
12,000.
12, yes, because it's estimated that monthly you are supposed to spend about 992
Euros, yeah.
euros for your expenses, insurance, and provision, and all of that. Then for public institution, most public institutions require international students to apply for admission via Uni Assist. So when you apply via Uni Assist, the process is you apply via Uni Assist to whatever schools you intend to apply for. You submit all your necessary documentation. You pay 75 euros first for one school. So if you have a couple of schools, you get some sort of discount